Hey guys, welcome back to Beardy Lumber. We appreciate you tuning in today. Got something we're going to cover a little different. If you're tuning in because you've seen the title, top 10 reasons not to buy a WoodMizer. It's a little clickbait, you know, it's nothing bad, but I want to cover the top 10 things that are going to happen when and if you buy a WoodMizer. Things you ought to know. If you own one, things you already know. But this is the top 10 things, top 10 reasons you should buy a WoodMizer, because all these things are going to come with it. You just don't know it yet. So hang on, we'll be right back. Okay guys, it is July here. It's hotter than a bundle. We need a break, but I'm not complaining about hot weather. I'd rather have it than 20 degrees, but it's still hot. It's still a struggle. So I'm trying to work my way through this. I don't use a script ever, and this is not a script by far. It's just a bunch of bullet points about things I've been thinking about for months. The real astute viewers probably seen my whiteboard over there on the bottom of it. It was written, top 10 reasons not to buy a WoodMizer. And I've been considering these for some time. This is definitely not a knock against WoodMizer or anything like that. It's just things that I didn't know, and I'm sure you didn't know when you went and bought your first meal, or if you're contemplating buying your first meal. Calling WoodMizer, ordering your meal, going over there and picking it up, taking the training and paying for it. But that's just the beginning of what you're getting into. So I'm gonna try to cover this a little bit today. So if somebody's new on the fence thinking about buying one of these, this is kind of what you can expect. Most guys I've seen, this is kind of where it leads them to. Not everybody turns the hobby into an addiction, but it does happen. So now these are in no kind of order. I could have changed them up. I didn't. It's just how they popped in my brain. Number one, this is going to cause you a lifelong addiction to sawdust. Because if you spend the money to buy one of these, you probably already know you're probably going to enjoy it. And my dad, 15 years ago, maybe 20, hired a guy to come saw some lumber. And I helped that day, and I was like, boy, that looks like something I'd enjoy. You know, and I was probably, what does that be? 37, 40-year-old, somewhere around in there. You know, I was like, man, I think I could enjoy doing that. So just bear in mind that you'll probably have a lifelong addiction to sawdust. Number two on the list of top 10 reasons is what WoodMizer is going to cost you after the sale. Well, you went and bought this beautiful mill, whether it's an LT15 Go, a 35 hydraulic, you know, a LT70, a manual mill, and it's beautiful orange, and you pull it home and it's sitting out there in the yard, and you're like, this just ain't going to do. My mill's 10 years old, and it's been rained on 3 times, and those 3 times was when we saw it here at home. We had so much to do on Friday night, I left it sitting out on saw Saturday morning, and it got rained on. So you'll be needing a sawmill building or wanting one. At the very least, you'll need a storage building. I stored mine in the big green building over there for 7, 8 years. You know, we'd pull it out, use it, clean it up, put it back. And that was one of the most annoying parts of storing it, is if we pulled it out and saw one log, we'd have to, you know, clean it up, oil it down, stick it back in the building. So number two, you will be wanting a sawmill building, or at least a storage building to put it in. Ooh, number three is a big one. You've got to have some equipment to move these logs around. You're gonna need a tractor, a skid steer, something, telehandler. And if you've got one, that's great. If you don't, another investment that's going to come along with this WoodMizer that you didn't foresee, because even mobile milling, with that big John Deere, we'd take it occasionally. Tried not to because it's pretty expensive add-on for the customer, but you know, if you got no other option, then you just got to take it. And then, you know, if you got a piece of equipment, well, you're gonna have to have a good truck to pull it with, a good trailer, and now you got to make 2 trips or get your buddy to pull one or the other to go do a mobile milling job. So, number 3 on the list is, you know, the log handling equipment that you wasn't really dreaming about that you needed. Because trust me, after you saw your first 1,000 board feet and you move it 4 times before you get it where you want it, you won't ever do it again. You'll be going down to the Get Me store and buying you a tractor or skid steer or something. So just bear that in mind. Oh yeah, here's one for you and the wife. Whatever extra property you have will become a sawmill yard. We ain't gonna interview my wife to see what she thinks about this, but you can't see my house anymore since we built that kiln building, so it blocks all the view down here. But we got 1.5 acres, 2 acres of just sawmill building and logs, and that's what it takes for me. And now I'm not weekend warrior anymore. I'm sawing for a living, so I got to have a lot more space. But even if you're a weekend warrior and a guy brings you, you know, a dump truck load of logs, now your backyard turned into a log pile. You got to deal with the slabs. You got to deal with the sawdust. You know, it will change the way your property is used. So, number 6 on your top 10 reasons. Well, after you get your sawmill, after you get your sawmill building and all your equipment to handle it, and you saw all this lumber for yourself, and you stack it out there in the yard, you cover it up 10, the first big windstorm blows 10 across the yard, you're like, Dad, burn it, I need a building. So, number 6, you're gonna be building or wanting to build some kind of storage building to keep your lumber in. Now, I have several buildings. I keep my lumber in as well as I keep customers' lumber. I don't worry, if it's green salt, I set it out there, don't worry about it. But if I'm gonna kiln dry it, if I got room, I'll try to put it in the dry. And definitely after it's kiln dried, I store it in the dry until they come and pick it up. So I have to have a little more space than you'll need, but you'll still be wanting some kind of space to store all that beautiful lumber you sawed with your WoodMizer. Number 7, this is kind of a touchy subject. If you buy a WoodMizer, you're gonna lose some friends along the way. I'll just go ahead and tell you that, because if you're a fishing buddy, Harley buddy, camping buddy, all those activities are gonna be cut in half or worse, because you got this high-dollar mill sitting out there that it needs to run occasionally. Need to make some money with it. Got a monthly payment coming every month. So you will lose some friends over just you not being available. You're out sawing, you're sawing for yourself, you're doing things, you know, just know that up front. I had a little trouble with the last 3. This is what took me so long to do this video, is kind of the last 3 on this list. So, number 8, a couple things are going to happen. Either your whole family is going to become sawmill addicts. They're addicted to sawmill dust just as much as you are, or they resent the fact that you're doing so much sawing and not going fishing or riding your Harley or doing different things. So it may cause a little stress there within the family, but it's worth it. We all love sawing, and you will too. Oh yeah, here you go. Number 9, top 10 reasons you shouldn't buy a WoodMizer sawmill. I didn't know this, and I'm sure none of the other guys really thought about it when you decided you want to buy a WoodMizer. Irregardless of your age, whether you're 25 years old or 55, 65-year-old, if you're buying your first mill, understand, guys, you're starting a new career. This is, yeah, you can buy one of these and just piddle-poot around and do a little here and there, but you'll never be a sawyer. If you want to buy one of these and become a pro sawyer, somebody that can put out quality lumber at an affordable price, you know, day in, day out, do the kind of work that, you know, professional sawyer would do. Well, you're starting a new career, buddy. Whatever your age is, you're starting a new career. Irregardless of what you knew before, whatever your job title was, mine, I've been in wholesale delivery, you know, my whole life. Working for a beverage company, a food company, transportation, all this. There ain't a whole lot of that transfers over to sawing wood other than the work ethic. Now, if you've got a good work ethic in your job, then that'll transfer over good into your sawmilling. But whether you're hobby milling or really, you know, turn it into a part-time job, maybe wanting it to grow into a full-time job, it's a new career, guys. You got new stuff to learn, things you didn't even think about, I didn't think about, to make you a true professional. And anybody in any craft ought to be always willing to learn. Our molder planer's sitting over here. And I've struggled with it for months because I know the company that made it offers training seminars. And it's quite a bit of money for 2 people. But I also understand that there's nothing wrong with improving and growing and becoming more professional. And if I can go sit in front of the people that made that machine and let them teach me more about it, I consider myself dumb for not doing it, irregardless of cost. So we're going to bite the bullet next week. Matthew and I will be gone 2 days. We'll try our best to make a video because they are YouTube friendly. And, you know, showing us growing as professionals to be more proficient at what we know and don't know. So just bear that in mind. You are stepping into a new career path, and there'll be a lot of learning along the way. I've been around wood my whole life. You know, I started in high school working for a tree service. If we wasn't cutting trees, putting in fences, you know, whatever, I've been around trees my whole life. I didn't know nothing, didn't know near enough. And I still learn today, and I like learning. I'm 56 years old, and I still enjoy learning. That's one reason I'm on YouTube, you know, not as Beardy Lumber, but as me, a consumer, I'm learning. I like to learn. I'm a visual, auditory type learner. Sit here and read a book, goes over my head, most of it. I mean, I can get the nuts and bolts out of it, but for really learning and capturing information, I like to sit in front of someone that has done it, knows how to do it, and they're teaching, and they're willing to pass that knowledge on. Just, never mind. I ain't got nothing to do with what we're doing here. But number 10. I sat on number 10 for a long time because I really love my WoodMizer. It's hard for me to find 10 reasons not to buy it. And none of them I really care about because I would buy another one. But this is for your benefit, what's going to happen when you do. So number 10 could be applicable, could be not. You could possibly face some resentment from your family, close family, your friends, associates, only because they're envious of you doing something they thought for years they should have done themselves. And there's nothing worse than somebody that, you know, is a little, for lack of a better word, butthurt because you're out doing something they thought they should have been doing and they didn't. If you want a reward, you got to risk. You know, and buying a WoodMizer is a risk. It's not a ton of money to get into one of these, you know, car payment or less, but it's still a risk, and you're sticking your neck out there, and you're willing to go do the work, put the effort in, and not everybody appreciates that. Just unfortunately, it's the way the American people are, people around the world. They sometimes resent people that are successful and are willing to take a risk and jump out there and say, here, this is me, you know. Now, I will say, if you don't have a good personality to you, this is a hard business to be in because you deal with a lot of people, a lot of personalities. I have firm opinions about certain things in my life. Now, we don't discuss them here on this channel, but if you're here in front of me, it won't take you long to figure out where I draw a line in the sand. And, you know, sometimes that can hurt your business a little bit if you're not careful. But still going to happen. Still got, you know, everybody's got opinion, and that's the beauty of the country we live in. You know, we're all we're all constitutionally afforded to have our opinion. But enough of that. That's the top 10 reasons I could think of for not buying a WoodMizer, and I would recommend you buy one. I go buy it today. You won't regret it. But these are some things that I hope helps you think about a little bit more than just that beautiful orange piece of equipment sitting out there in your barn. This is what's going to come of it. You know, I really hate to see on Facebook Marketplace, guys got a 1999 WoodMizer LT40 and it's got 200 hours on it. That's really depressing, guys. You know, I hate to see somebody buy a mill and never use it. Buy that sucker and wear it out. WoodMizer sells new ones every day. Wear it out and go get another one. It don't do me, you, anybody else any good that's sitting over there in the barn for 15 years and never getting run. So I'll get off my soapbox. Guys, if you got any questions on this, shoot them to me. I'll be glad to try to answer them, try to help you out. It's a big step, you know, especially once you get LT 35 ain't too bad, but once you step up to 40 and above, you're investing some money. I see a lot of people, their first mill's a 70. That's a big jump. I wouldn't recommend a 70 to anyone ever mobile milling. You can't charge enough to make a 70 justifiable. If you want to do mobile milling, an LT 35, LT 40 wide is all you'll ever need, because you take the cost of that mill versus the cost of a 70 and what you need to charge here versus what you need to charge over here. That's a hard sale, but we'll see. Like I say, got any questions, send them to me. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it's helpful. As always, we thank our partners, Joe Maine, Industrial Cutting Tools. Give Joe a call. We'll be glad to help you out any way you can. Also, Solomon at Third Beard Fishing. Him and Matthew do all our videos. They come out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 5 o'clock p.m. Guys, that's going to do it. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.